Hey everybody, and welcome back. Right, well, first of all and most importantly, thank you very much to all the people who sent comments, emails, all sorts of things about my kidney stones and wishing me well. I really do appreciate it. It makes making these videos worthwhile. So again, thank you very much for the concern and the good wishes. Alright, so as far as my kidney stones go, as far as I know, it's still there. But that tube that they put in means it's not a problem. There's a little bit of pain. Not so much pain as an ache. It's like having a bruise. And it comes and goes. I don't feel it now. So everything's fine. I've been to see the urologist. And I'm booked in for December the 2nd to go in and have the tube taken out, and if the kidney stone's still there, he'll take it out at the same time, but he thinks I might have passed it. Apparently 4mm isn't actually large. He said that up to 5mm you generally pass them with increasing levels of sort of difficulty and pain. Above 5mm, he said once it gets up to 6, 7, then they're a problem. So anyway, I'll go in and do that, and then apparently I go back a week later. It's a 2-stage thing. So anyway, that's fine. He said, he showed me the scan, got a chance to look at my prostate and saw that it is a little enlarged, but nothing spectacularly. But I could see exactly where the stone was, and from the scan he was able to tell the density of it, and he said he thought it was a uric acid one, and apparently there is medication which dissolves uric acid stones. If it had been a calcium type stone, then it would have been ultrasound to break it up, but I don't have any more, or at least there's no more there at present. So health wise, everything is good, just getting old. Alright, so RockShox came, and you may be able to see I've been just fiddling around looking at mudguards. So last week I was just a bit off from, I had the infection, so I was taking antibiotics. I really didn't feel like doing anything. So just this weekend I came out and looked at these. Right, so what we're going to do this week, funnily enough, I have to go and see, this is Monday, I have to go and see my cardiologist. Got so many specialists, it's unbelievable. Well, I don't. George across the road has so many cardiologists, because apparently, it's a general anaesthetic and stuff, so they need him to sign off on my condition of my vascular system. So I'll go and see him today, which is good, because I'm not going to harp on about my health, and this is just a minor thing. But when I got my medications after the stents put in, they gave me, probably showed you this at the time, little bottles got these tiny little nitroglycerin pills in, which apparently open your veins up, or your arteries and veins, so that's how they work. So the instructions are, if you start to get real chest pains, and he sort of stressed the real chest pains, you take one. If they don't clear up in 5 minutes, you take another one. If they don't clear up in another 5 minutes, you take a third one, but basically if you get to the third one, you should really be on your way to hospital. So the thing is, when they gave me them, you saw that little bottle, they're tiny. That little bottle's got 25 pills in it. And they came in a box with 4 little bottles in. So here is this emergency medication that at the very most you should take 3 of in an emergency, and they've given me 100 pills. That means I can have 33 cardiac emergencies. I got a feeling the person would be dead by the time they maybe got to the 10th or 12th time. But anyway, and they expire. Mine have just expired, so I've got to get some. There you go. Alright, so we'll put RockShox on, and we'll talk about mudguards, and we'll do, see if I put the front mudguard on, we've got to make mudguard stays. I hate making mudguard stays. And we've still got the prop stand to put on. So we'll start doing all that, and I think I showed you that I've got a carburetor. If not, you'll see it later on. And also I've ordered a push-on manifold for it, so I don't have to make one. So if that arrives during this week, well, depending on how much time we have, we'll put that on, and then we can start looking, because we're getting close to this, to airbox, oil tank, where the exhaust is going to go, where the silencer is going to go, and then, as I mentioned, the cable to the rear brake we're going to leave right till the end, so that when everything else is on, I can see the best way to route it so that I get nice curves. Oh, also, while I was fiddling around, I keep looking at these footrests. By measurement, they're exactly where they should be, and I think they'll be a little bit, or at least level with the bash plate. But I'm going to leave them. I've run a bead of weld along the top, but these are be easy to take off the hangers. So I might just lift them a little bit. I don't want to lift them too much, because then we're getting back into that lifting centre of gravity, and that's killer for trials. Alright, the higher your centre of gravity, the more the least little movement of your body affects the bike, and you want the bike to be stable. Alright, so let's get these rock shocks put on. Alright, I got them with the black springs because I thought it'd look really nice on the silver framed greaves, so we're going to do this frame in silver. So comes off there, comes off there, and then, you know, finding bolts with enough unthreaded length isn't that easy. Okay, there's that one. Battery gave out just then. I don't know if you noticed. Oh, that's right, it's this one we want for there, isn't it, with the... It's alright, that's just front mudguard sliding off the wheel. Oh, damn it, put it on upside. Look, how many times do I have to tell you people, you've got to keep an eye on me. Getting old. Have I put that on? Yeah. Should be that way up. Rock shocks. Yeah. Isn't it strange sometimes? You get these, that doesn't look right, but I think it's right, but it doesn't look right, but I don't know. So I just had a look, and yeah, they do go on this way. You know by now I've put enough on. Let's see, I might drill this thing out and thread it. Oh, can I do that? Yeah, because it's a, those adjusters are 5/16. Put the adjuster on this end, and that gives me less stick ups or a lower, tighter curve. That way. Okay. So that's that. Okay, let me put the other one on. Alright, so that's them on there, and I did need to move this bottom out. I can just get a finger in. There's about ½ an inch of clearance there. Of course there's tons on this side. In fact, I could even have brought that in a little bit on this side, but it gives plenty of clearance for everything. And it's only fractionally. This one's dead vertical. That one is very fractionally that way. Alright, so the next thing is the mudguard. Can you see mudguard? Let me lift you up a little bit. Okay. Now the thing about the mudguard is, when I was ordering mudguards a while ago, I slipped up and the place I got them from, it said, you know, trials rear mudguard. So I ordered two, and I ordered two front ones, and when they came, there were these short ones, and then when I went back to the website and looked, they also had trials mudguards long type, and I thought, well, anyway, my mistake. So what was it for? Must have been for BSA when I got them, the 441. I had to send off and get a long one because that needed the long one to do it. But this, because they're expensive, and I've got two of these now, and funnily enough, if I put that in there like that, see there's a mount in there, that fits in exactly. I mean, it touches this mounting and it touches these two here. And it's about long enough at the back. I just have to make up a little something here, but I haven't decided how I'm doing things like the exhaust and everything. And it's got to have a bit cut away on that side for the chain guard to move up and down and everything. So, question is, do I spend, I don't know, $100 with shipping to get a longer one, or do I just drill some holes and stick that one in there? I mean, it's not like this is going in a museum, this is going into trials. I'm hoping I'll be able to ride this one. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this one in. And then we'll start looking at the front, which means, as I say, mudguard stays. So let me take out the plastic, we'll mark it and drill a couple of holes. So, not exactly perfect. It's a little short, not much. And it's down a bit. But if I wanted it to be further here, see with that curve, it would be coming towards the tyre. So that would mean, actually this can go up a little bit. That would mean kicking that up. And that would bring it in from there. I mean, it's not like I'm welding this on. So if we get to the end and I look at it and I just think, nah, don't like that, we can always put a different mudguard on. So I think for now, I'll drill these couple of holes here so we can mount this on rigidly. And then we'll look at the front. So I bolted that on there and there and there. We'll see about that later because I'm not sure what we're going to do here. I just done one of those stupid things. I drilled this side, put it in, went over there, got a bolt, nut, two washers, drilled the other side. I have no idea where the bolt and washers have gone. I've had to get another one out. That's just... Alright, let's look at this front mudguard. Right, take two. Just went through all this and I hadn't pressed the record button. Okay, that's about where I want it. I've sort of just held it and moved it up the way it will go with the forks, and we're going to be alright with that. If we're not, we'll think of something else. Alright, so we've got the... Behave yourself. We've got these on each fork leg, and then we've got one of these and one of these. So I don't really want to do them like that because A, they're very long, and B, they don't actually give any rigidity to the whole thing, and there's a chance the mudguard can swivel backwards and forwards. So we're going to use these, and on the road bike there would be a loop over there as well as these. So I have a bit left over from, I think, when I redid the B50, when I put the XS 650 forks on, which instead of having bottom mounts like this, like the trials forks are taken off, the disc brake ones, it was a double mounting up here, but actually it went that way, which is even nicer. So what I think we're going to have to do is make a little plate for both sides, because also this bottom hole over there is for where the torque arm bolts on. These might have been better if I had the forks in the other way around, so they were at the front, but it doesn't really matter. Because what I'm going to do, I think, is make up a plate that will bolt into both those holes, so that means it can't move. And then on the top, we'll have welded tube up to here and a tube back to there, like that. So I might be able to repurpose this, might not. Of course, that's going to have to be up a little bit anyway, like that. It's weird, you know, at the back it always looks as if there's, you think, oh God, look at that. But it doesn't go like that. As it comes up, it actually, that's it. It's almost full stretch. Okay. All right, let me sit and look at this. Decide exactly what we're going to do. Alright, it's a new day and I just couldn't resist popping the tank on to see how we were starting to look. So, it's a word I don't think you see much now, but it was what we would have described as cobby when I were younger. Alright, so you can also see at the front, I think, yeah, excuse me, I put a couple of bits of foam rubber under there and taped them up to give me the amount of clearance I want in there. And I've been scrounging around. I found several sort of failed attempts, which actually, because of the angle they're going to be at, I think will work. So what I've got to do is, with some of the other bits and pieces I've got, is weld a couple of pieces on to get these the right length, and then we'll cut our pieces of plate for here to start with, bolt them on, and then we'll get to make things fit. Right, excuse me again. So let me, actually first of all, yeah, let me make those hoops long enough. Alright, so I'll lengthen this one there, and I thought the easiest way to do this actually was to make the little plates. So there's the first plate, see that goes on there like thus, and hopefully the holes line up. One, oh, that looks good. Two, so that goes on there, it goes further back that way, so that will be where those will weld onto. So let me bolt these on, and then I can work the stays from that. And these are 5/16 this side, 3/8 the other side, where I have the torque arm to bolt up. So there's those bolted on, but we've got a problem over this side in that when that is up on there, this nut fouls on here. I might be able to just cut the top off that off. What I might have to do is maybe turn the bolt round and use an Allen bolt or something like that, but that is minor. So they're both bolted on. I can now start working out where the bends go to get that onto there. And this, as I say, is why I don't like doing mudguard stays, because they've got bends all over the place to get them right. Okay, so let me fiddle around here, make a mark. See, I can't, if this was longer I could make a bend and then cut it, which is, you know, it wastes lots of tube. So what I might do when I've marked them is actually cut them, cut a little pie out and just bend it up and weld it, because it's going to be behind here, you're not going to see it really, so I don't think it needs to be a nice bend. Okay, anyway, let me work on that. Right, so hopefully this will work. What I've done is both sides, I've marked this just to line sort of crosswise, not at an angle, to line up with the bottom of the mudguard. Then I took it off and I measured down from there an equal amount on each side. Right, and that is where I'm going to make my bend, and then we'll be able to finagle this. So we'll cut the bend there. See, I think, can you see that in? Yeah. Got to mark each side, so cut this the same length, and then we'll put the bend in there. Cut our little pie out, put the bend in, and hopefully that'll come out all right. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but there's the cuts. So that's bent. And that's going to go in there like thusly. And then we'll go on there flat. Come on now. On the mudguard well. That's pretty good. They're not 100%, but then I can never get these bloody curves to match up. Let's see, it's got to go to there, and that's got to go to there. They're about equal on there. That just moved, didn't it? Yeah. That's pretty good. So then they'll get bronzed on there. So that'll get cut here, so there's an equal amount on the other one. Although I could make the other one go like that, couldn't I? Up to there. Put the bend downwards. That might make it even more rigid, mightn't it? I think that's how I did it on the B50. One goes on the top, one goes down the side. So anyway, let me weld up these cuts I've made, and then we'll make the little bit for the top, because if I put that on there, it'll line everything up, and then we'll see about making that one. Yeah, I think I'm going to bronze that on there, like that, cut it to the right length, bronze it on, and then make that one. Yeah, there's enough space. Make that one go on there like that. God, that's not a particularly good bend, is it? That'll look alright. Okay, let me weld this up. Right, I've welded up the those bits, and I've put a tab on. Not completely happy with the tab. It was, when it's a metal mudguard, it's easy. You could actually drill the mudguard, bolt the tab on, but of course plastic, that's why there's a couple of layers of tape on there. You're worried about melting that, so you've got to sort of try and just catch it and tape it or something. So it's, I maybe should have lowered the bike down so I was looking at it from the top, but it'll do. It will do. Alright, so the next thing to do is to put a dab of bronze on those to hold them onto the plates. Okay, so there's that one on there. So we're going to drill the mudguard to fit that, and I've got a little line of bronze on both sides, so check that if we can do it. Now all I've got to do is play around with what I've got, get myself a piece to go up there, and like that, and down somehow. Alright, the way I was planning to do it was really fiddly. So what I've done is I've made a couple of pieces like that to slide in there, and then one on the other side as well. We'll all go up and we'll weld that in. It'll be amply strong enough for a mudguard stay. So let me get that welded on both sides. Right, so that's that done. Good and solid, both sides. So actually, because there was a little gap, I thought it would be better to bronze this because it would flow right in there. So that's going to be nice, and it's easier to shape up. So I'll make a little tab for this. I hadn't thought about doing that actually. What I'm going to do is put some tape on to sort of protect this a little bit. But then I thought what I should do is make the tab, mark up where I want to put it, and then on the tab, I'm saying make the tab, and yeah, you can just still see it. And then on the tab itself, if you imagine that's the tab, I'll put a big blob of bronze. And then I'll put it up against the tube, and then instead of putting some heat into the tab, which is what melts the mudguard, I can just put the torch to there and melt some bronze onto that, and then onto the blob of bronze, and then come off. That shouldn't put any heat into the tab. Alright, so let me do all that. Alright, it's Thursday. Okay, so that's all done. All bronzed up. Can you see that all right? Yeah. Okay, so I will put that on, goes on that way. I had to take the wheel out, as is often the case with these. You can't get mudguard brackets on if they're one complete piece like this. So we'll put that in, and then we'll put the mudguard on. My idea didn't work. Look. So, but fortunately, of course, it's the shape of the tab, so you won't really see it. And on this bike, to be honest, I'm not that worried. Okay, so let me put those mudguard stays back in, and then I'll mark up and drill the mudguard, put the mudguard on, and then we'll put the wheel back in, and then I think we'll sort of finish the front end off. We'll make a, we've got to make sure that torque arm fits with the bolt clearance for the bolt, so we'll do that, and then we'll make a brake cable up, and that'll be the front end finished. Alright, so there's that in. Seems to be reasonably central. Still looks a bit close there, but you know, this frame really is further away from the engine. Slightly more offset on the forks would have helped. But we've got to use what we've got available. Alright, I'm going to, hang on, can you see that torque arm? Yeah, more or less. I'm going to cut a little bit off that, see if that'll clear that top nut. Well, cutting that off just level with the steel part was just enough. I'll put that bolt in first, and then I put this one in, and everything lined up nicely. So that's good. So let's lower the bike a bit. Handlebar lever. Make a brake cable. Right, now on the TY forks, this stay actually is at the front. So the cable's at the front. But of course, these aren't TY forks, etc, etc. So it's at the back, the actual thing. Now just that. Look, that's a direct fit into there. That won't take. Oh, will it? Hang on, let me see if it'll take a ferrule. Right, well, so a ferrule does fit on there, or I should say fit in there. It doesn't matter that much because with it having a nipple on, this has got to become part of the cable. So I pop one on and put little dimples in to hold it in place. I'm going to keep getting in front of you after here, I think. Okay, so do we want this to go down like that? Or those forks are extended, so this is the longest the cable needs to be. Or do we put it round the back? Put a thing on, well, I could put a thing on the back to hold it. We want it to go down the back. Now, I think I want it down the front. I think I'm going to put it down the front. So we'll put it in there like that. Oh, I thought I'd brought the white marker. Right, I'm going to mark this, cut it, then I'll bring you back. Oh, actually, you didn't see any of that, did you? What I was talking about was putting it through there. Oh wait, putting it through here. Actually, I can put a nice little mounting thing there round that it can just slide up and down through as the forks go up and down. Right, as I say, let me mark this, cut it, and then we'll come back. Right then, I've cut this, put a ferrule on each end. So that one goes in there, like thusly. And that one is going to go in there like that. Now that's going to have to go around the yeah, that'll be just nice because there's going to be the gator on there which will push it out a little bit. Yeah, I think that is just about the right length. So the next thing to do is to push some inner through. What have I done with it? Oh, I've left the inner over there now. Hold on. Alright. Whoa, this reminds me of my last little hospital visit. Poking tubes down things. You can't see the other end yet. Yeah, look. Still hasn't come out. I didn't think that outer was that long. Oh, there, it's got to the other end there, look. Come on, I pushed it through the other end. I know it comes through. There it is. And a little bit dropped out there, that went. Excuse my head, people. So that's going to go through there. Of course, again, now you can't see it. So that's along there. So we'll just cut that there. Then I'll put the nipple on that end, and we'll do this end, the big barrel nipple, last. Because this is going to take the little bullet type nipple. Will we have fun soldering again? Didn't I sort that out with a different flux? Can't remember now. Anyway, let me cut this. Right, let's see what happens this time. So I've opened the ends out, giving it a really good degreasing, lots of acetone on a brush. That should be anything there. Let me open those out a little bit more. Okay. I've got the different flux, so let's see what happens this time. It's all with bated breath. Will it or won't it? Oh, come on. Can I get them? I think I've run out of propane. Oh, there it is. I still haven't bought one of those little pencil ones. Run down. Looks all right. It's flowed right through, but as I say, it's getting this thing here right that counts. Okay, let it cool down, I'll file the end. That seems to have come out alright. It's a bit small to sort of show, but filled the top up nicely. I had to file a little bit there, it came out the bottom. So next stage, put this back on and see how long we want the inner to be, and then put one of these on. Alright, let's try again. Let's see if we can be successful with this one as well. Seems to be just filling the cup up. Solder looks shiny. Okay, again, let it cool and file it. Well, that seems to have come out very nicely. The solder run through the bottom. You can see there, that's a nice full cup, so that'll really have trapped all those strands. Okay, let's go and try it on the bike. Alright. and you can't see this bit, but it's going into the it was going in there, come on now. There we go, that goes in there. Then it goes on the little, what's it at the bottom, put the pivot in, okay. That's on down there. Oh, nasty moment, it's come out of the clevis. I didn't think it could come out of the clevis. Anyway, there it is in there. That looks to be pretty good. So, apart from a little guide which we'll make when we've got the fork gaiters on, that is the front end completed. So I suppose next, it's lunchtime, I'll have a look at it. I don't know if I'll get it done this afternoon and therefore this week, but we'll look at the prop stand. See you after, whoa, I think it's a sausage in a bun with piccalilli today, so I'll see you later. Right, well, I have had my sausage in a bun and that was very nice. So now we're going to look at the prop stand. I'm not sure how much video I've made, but we'll do. Well, I had to go and collect the car from the repair shop and what have you. It's 3:20, so we'll stick an hour or so on. Now then, we're going to do the prop stand slightly differently. Normally, as you know, I would make a sort of YouTube section thing that goes in, because this would be round and I could set it up where it needed to be. Well, actually, it would be a flat at the front, side piece, and a flat at the back, so that the side piece I could curve it to the curve of the tube and then just move it around until I got it and then put it there. But this is flat, so we can't do that. So what I'm going to do, I think this is going to work all right, is I've cut a piece here. I had some 2-inch flat, so this is 1 inch wide, right? I'm going to want a 3/8 bolt through it. It's going to be a 3/8 bolt clamping up a 1/2 inch piece of tube on which is going to run the 3/4 inch. See, the pivot's going to be 3/4 inch tube with 1/8 inch wall. That gives me a 1/2 inch hole in the middle, a 1/2 inch ID. Then a piece of 1/2 inch tube with 16 inch walls gives me a 3/8 ID. So that will all go in there. So that's going to go on there at an angle. It's going to be kicked out at an angle for the prop stand. And the way I'm planning to do it is to decide on that, tack it on, and then make the back, and then make the side, weld it all up. The side will probably have to come down a little bit for a stop for that, but we can see we can do all that then. Now, I've just looked at the other trials bikes, and what I did was I put the level thing on the swinging arm, right? Because when the bike's vertical, swinging arm's horizontal. All of them, while they're standing on their prop stands, are between 8 and 9 degrees. So when the bike's standing, this flat side is vertical. So if I bend this out, say 9 degrees, that should be the right angle I want that at. We can always put a little dog leg in the thing if it points out, if it sticks out too far, or if it doesn't stick in enough, we can, or if it doesn't stick out enough rather, we can put a little dog leg to bring it out. So let me bend this to, let's say, 9 degrees. Now I've just had another look at those other bikes, and they've actually all have a dog leg in them. So I've set this so it's now leaning over at 9 degrees. I'm standing at the back looking at it. It's just the right angle. Now if I put that there, and I basically put that on there, like that, that's at a steeper angle than 9 degrees. Now then, oh, no, I just noticed that. I can't have it pivot there because of that. Oh. I can put that bolt in the other way around. Oh, can't, can I? Because it's one of those stupid. I mean, I can make the bolt shorter. It doesn't have to stick out that much. So that can be there like that, but that is going to be a lot bigger angle. So I have to kick this right out. Let me think about this. This is proving to be awkward. I've taken that shouldered bolt out of there and just put an ordinary one in with a nice flat head. I did have a comment a couple of weeks ago about this. Somebody said that they had to be floating at each end, otherwise when you put the brake on and lock the wheel up, it would lock the suspension. Well, that's not true, because it's all on the swinging arm. When the brake locks up, the suspension will still go up and down. As anybody who's locked up their back brake going down a hill will know, your back brake, your wheel patters like mad on the suspension. If this was fastened to there, like for instance on that KDX 400, then the whole brake would be floating. Then both ends have to be able, but this isn't a floating brake. Plus, every other, as I said, the reason I mentioned this when I've noticed was because I'd never come across it on a bike before. I didn't see any point there, other than it made it a little bit easier when you adjusted the chain. You didn't have to slacken two bolts off. They would pivot as you moved the wheel backwards and forwards. But anyway, it's fine like that. The next thing was, the more I bring this out here to miss that, the more I get the chance it's going to catch on my boot, which we don't want. So that's as much as I can bring it out. So what I think I'm going to have to do is actually put a little dog leg in it there. See, it's almost there. So that's just got to, see, that almost does it. I just got to put a little kink in it to miss this. So I think what I'll do is I'll put a couple of tacks on that to hold it. Then we'll make up the pivot point, actually with this tube. This is the one that the 1/2 inch piece. Battery went against, and I just looked at the little thing on the camera and there seemed to be quite a bit left. So anyway, what I was saying was, this is the tube for the pivot. It's 3/4, 1/8 inch wall, so that's a 1/2 inch hole. 1/2 inch tube goes inside that, and then a 3/8 bolt. And then the 1/2 inch tube, as you may know, is going to be slightly longer than the pivot, so that when you tighten up, you don't tighten up on the pivot part, you tighten up on that piece in there, and it swivels on that. So let me tack this, and then got to cut a piece of this, cut a piece of 1/2 inch, can just bolt it on this one side, and then we've got to get a piece of ordinary 3/4 and do our little joggle. So, good, it's 4 o'clock already. We're not going to get this finished this week, but anyway, let's see how far we can get. Alright, it's tacked on there. So there's the pivot. Well, no, that's the pivot really. So that goes in there and it sticks out the ends. I might even shorten it slightly. So when I put that 3/8 in there, I'm just going to put a washer on the back. There would of course be a piece of plate there. Why will nuts never screw on just when you want them to? Dum, 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 dum. See, that's tight, but that still spins. So in time, we'll stick another bit on the back of that, and a piece here on this side, and that piece on the side is what the prop stand comes up and stops against. So let's see if we can make it come out here and go down there. See, I can't put too much of a dog leg in, or it'll sort of bring it out. I'll have to dog leg it back in. Probably will have to anyway. So what we need now is a tape measure, which I just happen to have at hand, because we need to know roughly how long this is going to be. We're going to have it standing out to there, put a dog leg in. Let's say 17 inches. Right, let me go and cut a piece of 3/4 tube, 17 inches long. Alright, so I say it's so close, but I just don't want to bring it out anymore. So what we're going to do, I'm going to dog leg it there, probably there. So let me go and cut a little slot in that, so I can bend it out slightly, and a little slot on the other side so I can bend it back in. Right, this is going to be it for the day. I might come out on Saturday, but anyway, there we go. I've even coped this end a little bit, so when that goes on there like that, that's going to be up there like so, and then it'll come down till it's like that. That's very nice. That is very nice. I'm going to have to lengthen this, make the other side longer, but that's good. I'll go there nicely. Very nice. Alright, 5:15, that'll do us for the day. I'll pop out on Saturday just to bronze that to this, and then we can see where it's going to be. Alright, so see you then. Alright, we're up to 50 something minutes on the video, so I don't want to spend a lot more time, but I've popped out for an hour or so. Okay, I've taken the wheel out, as you can see. So from a little bit of bent cardboard, I've made this piece. Okay, that is going to go on there like that, and that goes onto the back. So I'm going to put a nut on here, and this is the reason I've taken the wheel out, so I can get to the back there and get on. Here we go, people. Wasn't going to take too long. Anyway, I'm going to bolt this on here to hold it and bronze that on the back. So I've fastened that on the back, bronzed that onto there. So now that goes in there like thusly. That goes in there. And I can see it's a nice, probably have to do something with that because with a layer of paint on, it'll probably won't go in there. Then that goes in there, and that now clears that. I might have to bend it out a little bit because how much can you see? Not enough. Let me open you out a bit more. Actually, let me move you down slightly as well. Hold on. Only just. That's going in a little bit too much. But that, as you can see, wants to come down there. That'll be just nice. The bike's up straight, so when it's leaned over, that will be just nice. And as I say, we can always put a little, just stick it in the tube bender actually there. Just give it a little bit of a turn out to make it straight with this. Alright, so now I need to put a piece on the side to act as the stop. And actually, that will be fine. Just flat on there, I'm pretty sure is going to be good. So let me do that and then I'll bring you back. So, there's that cut. I've welded, I'm going to weld it front and back. I'll bronze it under there. But I want that to be particularly strong because this will keep banging up against it. I may even have to put another little piece in. We'll see. But anyway, we'll need a foot putting on this, but also what we'll need, of course, is a spring, which I don't have. So for the spring, we'll have to put a post up here and a post on there. Or maybe a post on the side even to keep it out of the way. Up there, that'll be fine. But I don't have the prop stand type spring, which is sort of a spring and then a long piece to the hook. And the long piece to the hook is so that it goes over that as it swivels round. But anyway, there's our prop stand. We'll finish that off because I can't get at the back of that until the swinging arm's out. Probably finish that off next week. I might take the swinging arm out and do these ends, which you can't see, but you know that at the far end I have to fill in the tube where the thing slots into it. So anyway, we'll do that. But until then, you stay safe and enjoy yourselves.